I, 26F, used to sleep with one of my friend's sister when me and her were 19 and 20 years old. For the remainder of this I'll call her Mia. I would like to just say me and her first hooked up before me and her brother were friends. Me and him, who we'll call Alan, met through work and soon became friends. For most of our friendship it pretty much just reminded at work unless there was an outing or something of the sort we were doing for work, meaning we never really hung out on our own time. After about 2 years of being friends we did somewhat start hanging out outside of our job and learned more about each other. Back to a couple years ago when me and Mia started hooking up, it was casual sex, nothing more. We both decided to end it because we both wanted something else. She wanted to just have casual sex, but I wanted a relationship. I didn't necessarily want a relationship with her because I knew at that point our interests were different and I wasn't about to push anything. So that's where it ended. We did remain somewhat in contact, but that ended shortly as well without much of a reason. Now since I ended up getting closer to Alan, I learned that he actually had a sister. I wasn't too sure what she actually looked like or even her name. I never asked much about his family and he never asked about mine. But one day he came up to me at work, near the end of the day, asking to hang out after work, and I agreed. Once we started walking to our cars he did tell me his sister was staying with him because she just broke up with her boyfriend and didn't have a place since they were living together. I didn't think much of until he introduced us. Once I got there, I drove my car because I didn't want to leave my car at work and didn't want him to feel obligated to take me back to my place, especially if he was tired. He introduced by saying, "This is my sister," Mia, then introduced me. I did say, "Hi, it's lovely to meet you," but we both knew each other already. We didn't mention it at all to him because I didn't see it being any of his business, and ended up playing Mario Kart till it was dark and I decided to head home and said bye to the both of them. The next morning I see a text from Mia. It was sent at roughly 12ish in the morning with her saying it was nice seeing me again and that last night somewhat reminded her of what we used to do, and she said that she missed that, even we didn't really hang out together when it wasn't sex related. I would like to state that not everything we did was casual sex, but that's just what we did together most of the time because that's all both of us wanted at the time. The last text she sent was asking if we could hang out or catch up. I was hesitant to respond because I knew me and her brother were closer now, and now I also knew that I was friends with her brother, which to me is a little weird now only because our previous relationship together had pretty much been completely lost, and seeing as the first time we have talked in a couple years was because her brother introduced us, and me and her basically completely lost our relationship, but I somewhat grew a new one with her brother, but in a different way. I did end up agreeing to having lunch with her at a restaurant nearby, so we could catch up. After about talking for about an hour she did end up bringing up the topic about us maybe having casual sex again. I said I wasn't too sure seeing as I am now friends with her brother, but after a bit more talking, one thing may have led to another and I drove us back to my place and we ended up having sex. After that it kinda just brought me back to our past, and it really kind of made me consider possibly reforming that somewhat of a relationship we had initially.